Lesson 12-5, Surface Area of Prisms. So there's going to be some terminology that you will need to know in order to be able to find the surface area of prisms. The first one is lateral faces, and lateral faces are the faces that are not the base. So when we talk about prisms, we typically identify them by the shape of their base. So all the faces that are not the base are what you would call the lateral faces. Lateral area is the sum of the areas of the lateral faces. So if you found the area of each lateral face and added it together, then you would get your lateral area. To find surface area, this is the sum of the lateral area plus the area of the bases. So when we think of surface area, the surface area of an object is the area of everything on the outside. So if you thought of a box, if you wrapped that box with gift wrap, the area of the gift wrap that covers the box would be the surface area. So the actual outside of the box. If you had a wooden box and you painted it, the outside of the box that you painted is the surface. That is the surface area. So when you hear of surface, it's the outside area of a shape. Just to give you a visual of lateral faces and bases, in the figure below, the lateral faces are in blue and the bases of each object are in yellow. So there's two formulas for this. There is lateral area of prisms, and this is where the lateral area of a prism is the perimeter of the base times the height. So the formula for here would be L, which is the lateral area, times the perimeter times the height. Perimeter is around the outside, and then you would multiply that by the height of the object. For surface area of the prisms, this is when you have the S, which is the surface area, times the length plus 2 times the base, and the base here is the area of the bases. Or you could say that it is perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base, whichever way you want it to look at. For the duration of the lesson, we're going to do a few examples together. So for this example, we need to find the lateral and surface area of this prism. So we first want to find out the lateral area, and we know our formula is L equals the perimeter times the height. So our perimeter of our base here would be 5.4. So let's just write L equals the 5.4 plus the 2 plus the 5, and we would multiply that whole thing by the height. So the perimeter is 5.4 plus 2 plus 5, and we multiply it by how high the object is. Now, we found those dimensions because the base here would be this shape. And so that's why we used those numbers as your perimeter, with this being the height. So now you added all those together and multiplied, and you should have gotten 49.6 feet squared. To find the surface area, you have your surface area times your length, or times your lateral area, plus 2 times the area of the base. So we know that our lateral area is 49.6. We're going to add this to 2 times the area of the base. The base is a triangle, so we would do 1/2 times 2 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. 1/2 of 10 is 5. And then 5 times 2 is 10. And you add 10 to 49.6. And you get a final surface area of 59.6 feet squared. Let's take a look at one more example together. So for this example, you want to find the lateral area and the surface area. So let's start by finding the lateral area, which is the perimeter times the height. So the perimeter is a rectangle, which means you want to add together 1.3 plus 1.3 plus 1.4 plus 1.4, and you're going to multiply all of that by 1.2. So if you add that together, you get 5.4, and then you multiply that by 1.2, and you're going to get a lateral area of 6.48. Now to find the surface area, you're going to add 6.48 to 2 times the area of the base, which is 1.3 times 1.4. So let's multiply those first, and we get 1.82, and you multiply that by 2, and you get 3.64, and then you're going to add that to 6.48 to get a final surface area of 10.12 meters squared is the units for both of those numbers. Pause the video to complete the lesson review. I want you to write the formula for lateral area, write the formula for the surface area, and then find the lateral and surface area of the object below. Make sure you show me this lesson review for verification of watching this video.